On a quiet farm where the tractor did its job every day, one day a serious problem arose. The fence on the outskirts of the farm had a large hole. Through it, wild animals began to enter the fields, destroying crops. The farmer decided to repair the fence, and the tractor played a key role in this task. The tractor received an order. First, it had to take the wood from the forest to the sawmill to cut it into boards to repair the fence. Without a moment's delay, the tractor hitched up the trailer and headed for the forest. The road was long and winding, and the forest was full of huge tree trunks that needed to be loaded. The tractor, with the help of the loader, he went into action. With a full load, it headed for the sawmill, where the lumber machines were already waiting. The tractor arrived without a hitch, and the mill workers quickly got to work, turning the large logs into planks. When everything was ready, the tractor loaded the planks onto a trailer and headed back to the farm. When he returned to his spot, the planks were back in place, creating a solid fence that once again protected the farm. The hole in the fence disappeared, and the tractor looked proudly at its handiwork. It had done the job perfectly, and it could rest in the garage, knowing that its work had helped to secure the farm from uninvited guests. It was another day full of challenges, but the tractor proved to be irreplaceable in every situation.
Among the many tractors on the farm, Swaraj's small tractor was set to work harvesting maize. Surrounded by larger and more powerful machines, Swaraj stood out for his agility and reliability. As the first rays of sunlight began to illuminate the fields, Swaraj was already in full readiness. His engine purred softly as he set out for work, full of determination and ready for action. Once he got there, Swaraj began his work with gusto. His job was to pick the right corn kernels and load them onto a trailer. With precision and speed, he picked each kernel, checking carefully to make sure everything was harvested. Despite his size, Swaraj could work with incredible efficiency, leaving behind neatly harvested rows of corn. that Swaraj could always be counted on. His dedication and reliability made him a firm favorite, and his daily efforts were crucial to the success of the harvest. When the day was over, the little tractor would proudly return to the garage, knowing that it had once again proven its worth.
Was in turmoil when the farmer decided to build a new shelter for the tractors. The previous shelter was already too small, and the coming winter required a solid place where the machines would be safe from rain and snow. The tractor, as the main character of the story, knew that he had an important task ahead of him. To build the shelter, he needed wood, which could be found in the nearby forest. The farmer hooked up a large trailer to the tractor and sent it on its way. When everything was ready, the construction of the shelter began. Tractor watched with satisfaction as the new place of shelter grew before his eyes. Every beam and plank was carefully fastened, and the shelter took shape. After some time, the construction was completed. The new shelter was solid and spacious, ready to accommodate not only the tractor, but other machinery as well. The farmer smiled with satisfaction at his work, and the tractor proudly drove inside, knowing that thanks to his work, the farm now had a safe place for its vehicles. On a farm in the valley, the tractor faced a new challenge. After several weeks of rain, the roads leading to the fields had become muddy and difficult to drive on. The farmer decided to pave the main road so that the machines could move between the farm and the fields without any problems. This task required not only strength but also precision, so the tractor was the ideal candidate, even more precise and efficient. The yellow tractor was assigned to transport gravel and rocks from a nearby gravel pit. He hitched up a large trailer and set off. The gravel pit was on a hill, and the road to it led through steep inclines and narrow bends. When he reached the gravel pit, the loading of heavy gravel and rocks began. The loader lifted the material efficiently, and the tractor watched as the trailer filled to the brim. After loading, the tractor started back, more carefully this time, because the load was heavy and the road down was steep. The engine held power, and the wheels rolled steadily on the slippery surfaces. Upon arrival, the tractor carefully spread gravel on the designated section of road. Using additional tools, it hardened the surface, making the road even and strong. The stones were laid carefully, each layer strengthening the route that all the machines would soon drive on. When the job was done, the tractor slowly drove over the newly paved road, checking its quality. The road was smooth and ready for use. The tractor happily headed towards the farm, knowing that now working in the fields would be much easier, and he had helped everything run more smoothly.
Today we will build our little red tractor. We will see how we create this reliable machine step by step, from assembling the frame through installing the engine to adding the characteristic red elements. Ready to set off on a fascinating journey through the mechanical secrets of construction. Then we will build a wooden bridge. When he got there, he saw that the bridge was a series of structured beams and planks had to be precisely placed to make the bridge stable. Each beam was carefully placed, and the tractor maneuvered with precision to get everything into place. When the construction was almost finished, the tired but happy tractor returned to the yard, where a well-deserved place in the garage was waiting for it. Another day full of challenges came to an end, and the tractor was already looking
On a small
forward.
country road, among fields and forests, a quiet but distinctive roar of an engine could be heard in the distance. Suddenly, an elegant red Porsche emerged from around the bend, pulling a flatbed truck. On the flatbed truck, in full sunlight, rested a tractor, yellow, shiny, ready for a new life on the farm. It was not an ordinary sight. Porsche and tractor are quite an unusual duo, but on this day they had a common task. The Porsche, known for its power and speed, pulled its load with precision, easily overcoming the country paths. The tractor, although much larger, proudly presented itself on the trailer, knowing that it would soon start its work in a new place. after a few miles, they reached the farm. The farmer was already waiting, ready to welcome the new arrival. The yellow tractor that had just rolled off the flatbed had an important task ahead of it. Its mission was to transport bales of straw from the field to the farm. After a long journey on the flatbed, the tractor couldn't wait to finally get to work. It was created for such tasks. Its powerful engine and durable construction made it ideal for carrying heavy loads. On a quiet farm there was a tractor that had been used by the farmer for years in his daily work. It was a solid, reliable piece of equipment that kept the farm in good condition by working all the time. One day the farmer decided that the tractor needed a service, so he took it to a mechanic. The road to the mechanic led through picturesque landscapes, full of fields and meadows that the farmer had known since he was a child. The tractor moved slowly along a narrow, gravel road, surrounded by strips of ripe grain and clumps of trees whose leaves were beginning to turn autumn shades of gold and red. After a thorough inspection by the mechanic, it turned out that the tractor, while still in good condition, needed some essential repairs. The first thing that needed to be done was an oil change. The engine was running smoothly but needed fresh lubrication to avoid overheating and wearing out parts. Then the mechanic noticed that the tires, which had struggled over the years on the farm's rough, uneven terrain, were already badly worn and needed replacing with new, more durable, grippy tires. During the inspection, the mechanic also suggested adding new equipment that could significantly increase work efficiency. New LED headlights were installed, which allowed work after dark, as well as additional roof lights and new horns. A modern radiator grille and a large front weight were also added. Finally, it was left to screw on new, more durable wheels with better traction. These improvements not only extended the tractor's life, but also increased its value and functionality. After repairs, the tractor was ready for many more years of work, helping on the farm faster and more efficiently than ever. After returning to the farm, the tractor once again became an invaluable support. It made everyday work easier, and its reliability allowed the farmer to focus on other aspects of running the farm, such as harvesting crops or managing livestock. Compilation, Various Agricultural Work from Cultivation to Corn Planting is a video that presents the versatility of farm work using a solid tractor. The tractor, with its characteristic brown color, performs various tasks, from plowing and preparing the soil for sowing, to precise planting of corn in vast fields. Each job requires different equipment and skills, and the tractor copes with everything perfectly, regardless of the type of terrain or challenge. The film shows how important a role a modern machine plays in everyday work on the farm, ensuring the smoothness and efficiency of the entire agricultural production process.
picturesque farm amidst green fields and golden cornfields, a decision was made. It was time to build a doghouse. The owners of the farm decided that their faithful quadruped deserved a comfortable shelter. 2 irreplaceable tractors were to be used for this task. A red one and a green one, each equipped with special tools for the job. The red tractor was the first to leave the garage. Its task was to prepare the area for construction. It easily attached the attached shovel and set to work. It dug a trench with precision, creating the foundations for the doghouse. Its powerful hydraulic arm and sharp bucket effortlessly penetrated the soil, removing the earth with centimeter precision. Each depression was carefully leveled, creating a perfectly rectangular space that was to become a solid foundation for the future shelter. The red tractor worked methodically, step by step, making sure that the trench was deep and wide enough to ensure the doghouse's stability and durability for many years. Once the area was ready, a green tractor drove into the warehouse to pick up the appropriate goods for our booth. Tractor brought the wooden planks and other building materials that were needed to create a shelter for the dog. He skillfully lifted the heavy beams and placed them in place, creating a solid structure. And that is how our doghouse was created. Thanks to the cooperation of the red and green tractors, each element of the structure was precisely placed in its place. Solid wooden walls, carefully cut and connected, created a safe shelter. The roof, made of strong planks, provided protection from rain and wind. Every detail of the doghouse, from the stable foundations to the roof finish, was the result of joint work and commitment. When the work was finished, the doghouse stood proudly in its place, ready to accept its new tenant. Picturesque village, amidst green meadows and golden fields, lived a small red tractor. Although smaller than other tractors in the area, it stood out for its energy and constant desire to work. Despite its small size, the little red tractor was full of enthusiasm and always ready for action. Every morning, as soon as the first rays of sunlight illuminated the farm, a little red tractor drove out of the garage. He loved the fresh morning air and the sound of nature waking up. His first task was always to visit the hen house, where he would use his trailer to collect freshly laid eggs. After the morning chores, it was time for real challenges. Today, the little red tractor was tasked with plowing the field for new seeding. With energy and precision, he attached the cultivator and headed out into the field. Although the task was demanding, the tractor coped admirably, leaving behind evenly plowed furrows that looked like carefully laid lines in the field. Its precise work meant that the soil was perfectly prepared to receive the seed, ensuring a bountiful harvest next season. The little red tractor worked tirelessly, and its energy and commitment were unmatched. When it was finished, the field looked like a work of agricultural art, ready for the next stages of cultivation. In the evening, as the sun began to set, the little red tractor returned to the garage. He was tired but happy, knowing that he had helped with many important tasks on the farm. Before going to sleep, he looked out at the fields, which, thanks to him, were now tidy and straw. An unexpected accident occurred. The tractor was working hard in the field, forming even bales of straw, when suddenly sparks started flying from the baler. In the blink of an eye, the dry hay caught fire, and the flames began to spread quickly. The tractor immediately drove away to a safe distance to prevent damage to the machine. Fortunately, the farm was always prepared for such situations. A specialized red and white tractor with a water tank and fire pump mounted on a trailer came to the rescue. The tractor sped towards the burning baler, raising clouds of dust into the air. Its engine roared, and the wheels rolled with force over the uneven surface of the field. As it approached the fire, the tractor slowed, precisely maneuvering to position itself for the rescue operation. An arm with a mounted fire extinguisher extended from the tank, ready to fight the fire. The fire was rising higher and higher, but the tractor, full of determination, began the extinguishing operation, spraying water on the burning baler. Swaraj's small tractor was set to work harvesting maize. Surrounded by larger and more powerful machines, Swaraj stood out for his agility and reliability. As the first rays of sunlight began to illuminate the fields, Swaraj was already in full readiness. His engine purred softly as he set out for work, full of determination and ready for action. Once he got there, Swaraj began his work with gusto. His job was to pick the right corn kernels and load them onto a trailer. With precision and speed, he picked each kernel, checking carefully to make sure everything was harvested. Despite his size, Swaraj could work with incredible efficiency, leaving behind neatly harvested rows of corn. Everyone on the farm knew that Swaraj could always be counted on. His dedication and reliability made him a firm favorite, and his daily efforts were crucial to the success of the harvest. When the day was over, the little tractor would proudly return to the garage, knowing that it had once again proven its worth. its reliability and courage, was always ready for action, regardless of the time of day or the difficulty of the task. Early in the morning, the tractor received a call to a nearby farm where a barn had caught fire. Thanks to its special equipment, the tractor was able to quickly attach the appropriate equipment and go to put out the fire. After a successful firefighting operation and an intense storm that passed through the area, many trees were blown down, blocking roads and paths on the farm. The fire truck, equipped with a winch and a special loader, went into action. It easily removed the fallen trees, clearing the road and restoring access to the fields and buildings. The fire truck is always ready for action, whether it's the middle of the night or early morning. Regular inspections and careful maintenance ensure that its engine is always running at peak performance, and all systems are fully operational. Small charming farm and its green meadows and golden fields lived a small tractor. Although it was not the largest or strongest, it was always ready to work and full of enthusiasm. Its red body gleamed in the sun and its wheels turned happily as it set off on another adventure. He eagerly entered the orchard, where baskets full of apples awaited him. One by one, he carefully placed them on his small trailer. When the trailer was full, the tractor slowly moved towards the fruit market. The road was bumpy, but the small tractor, with determination and precision, avoided all obstacles. arrived a little red tractor named Max. Although he was the smallest tractor on the farm, his red paint always shone in the sun, and his engine ran quietly and smoothly. One day, as the harvest was approaching, Max saw that all the larger tractors were busy. They all had their own tasks. One was reaping the crops, another was turning the hay, and yet another was baling the straw. Max, although small, wanted to make himself useful. He decided to help in his own way. Max set out to the field, where he noticed that several small bales of hay had been left out. He knew that even such a small task was important. With precision, he drove up to the bales, picked them up one by one, and transported them to the storage room. The farmer was surprised at how much Max had done, despite his size. When the day was over, Max returned to his garage tired but proud. He knew that even though he was small, his work was just as important as that of the larger tractors. From that day on, Max became the hero of the farm, a red tractor that proved that it is not size that counts, but the heart to work.